Refreshing. Nope, not this one. Maybe the next one.
What?
Oh, I gotta go to the home. I'm always on the live section, waiting for it, and then it's like, no, it's in the homepage.
Wow, the alert actually showed up for once. I've got the alert.
Hey, I got the alert. So that means I'm going to like this video because I'm already subscribed, like a good fan.
Nice. All right. Over the show,
Gotta
episode 71. 2B.
71.
Nick D. Live from New York City. Jarvis Jerry.
Beep boo bop boo.
All right, and we got a hot one for you guys tonight. I'm assuming we didn't even discuss Jerry. Sisu's gonna be our headliner, unless we do. Unless we do a tier list, our Gatorade tier list.
Well, I just opened up all the videos that we had watched in the order that they came, that we put them in.
Let's move Sisu to the end because we all watched it, all three of us, right?
Yeah.
So put that at the end, and then if we still have time,
and it's
a short episode. We'll Gatorade
what else
it.
did we all three watch?
We watched One Piece. We could start with One Piece.
Vivarium. One Piece.
Yeah, we were going to start with One Piece.
Let's save all.
We all watched Vivarium.
Should we save all those? Yeah, I was gonna say, should we save all the stuff we watched together for the end and just
you watched Vivarium?
I did.
I know, Jerry, you did too.
And Jared did too. Yeah, Jared did too.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I didn't realize that.
I should have put that. I should have put that in the title. Vivarium?
No, no one's here yet.
Did you watch Tax Collector, Nick?
Nick,
I did not. I meant
talking to no one, Nick. Talking to no one. Addy.
But you watched Game Night though, right, Nick?
I watched Game Night. Should we open up with Game Night since I
was going to say since you'd be adding on.
Yeah.
So I'll pull that up, and then the other one, since it was fresh on Tubes' mind. Are we just jumping in? Should we jump in?
Wait, so we've all seen Game Night now, right?
Or we could bust.
Yeah.
Or we could bust out this Gatorade thing while we're waiting for people, and that way we're ensured to piece people off because they're not here to vote or weigh in.
Now, we'll get into the Game Night us, Nick. Game Night us.
I really liked it. I don't know if I was telling you or Simone or Jer, but I do think that this is the funniest movie I've seen in a minute. And I also mean that this is when was the last time there was just a comedy? Like this is you know what I mean? Like there's
that wasn't
not
Netflix.
Yeah, and it's not like at the second half is not a completely different movie. Like this movie is just comedy all the way through, or like you were saying last week, adventure maybe a little bit in the back half. But
it's like an adventure comedy. Yeah,
like that. I feel like this was one of the funniest things I've seen in like a minute. I thought it was a great cast. The neighbor was great.
Okay, this scene right here is the scene that had me rolling when they pull up in the car. And then the cop dude pulls up.
Hey, look, it's not Lego, it's Fiji. Yeah.
When all of this
and the blood on the dog. That made
the blood on the dog. The blood on the dog. Yeah. Everything with that guy was the highlight.
Yeah. They're a good duo.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it
they were fun.
Did we talk about it last week? Like literally last week, and then Nick watched it this week. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. Oh, you know what?
Not Legos, Fiji water.
You know what we totally forgot to do, and I know this. Maybe we could play a couple that are already in there. We were supposed to each pull up a knife thing. That was supposed to be what we did this week.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we have two.
We have two. Okay, so we'll play them. We'll play them later in the show. Yeah,
I'll find one right. Yeah, I'll find one right now.
Yeah, because I think I had the one I wanted. You found one you like, Tubes. And I think you had one in mind, Nick, but
no,
you didn't,
Nick had Beverly Hills Ninja. That was Nick's.
I couldn't.
We watched Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh yeah.
That one's really good, Nick. That should be yours. All right, we'll play those later.
Yeah.
What would you give Game Night?
Jerry, that's just about to ask.
I'd give it an A for sure. I mean, like, I almost like part of me wants to give it like an S just because it's like, dude, what? Like, this is like the funniest movie in Like what? Like the decade? The last I don't know. Maybe the decade is too much, but the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Since the pandemic. It's
Yeah,
the funniest movie since the pandemic.
It might be. I almost agree with you, Nick. It's the
Yeah,
first
so
thing
it's
come to mind.
A plus for sure, and it's let's check in. Maybe at the end of the year, I'll be like, hey, you know what? It was an F, but A plus for sure.
You know what we need to do? Change subject real quick on you, and maybe we're getting close enough to the next year that maybe this would be a good thing to start next year. But we need to make our own tier list with the show.
Like episodes?
No. Like you can make your own on tiermaker.com, and we make a movie one, and it's the movies it's like over the show.
Yeah.
Tier list 2024, right? And then every time we see a movie and Nick puts it in there, we discuss it, we add it on there. And then if somebody else watches that movie, like how I watched Game Night last week, so we would have put it in A or B or whatever I said last week. I don't remember already.
Yeah.
What? Did we look at that? That's crazy. The guy who directed Game Night directed Dungeons and Dragons, which is the second topic.
That's crazy. That's
and
also
it's Mitch.
That's pre-COVID, just to point out too, Nick D.
It's the dude from Waiting who never talks. Directed those.
Oh wow.
Who's the dude who never talks? Let me see him. Oh yeah,
great. The young kid, the new hire. He directed
John
those.
Francis Daly. Dude, crushing it.
He directed those.
That's crazy.
Well, over the show, salutes. What is it? John Francis Daly.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying about doing the tier list, and at the end of the year,
I think that's a great idea.
Our wrap-up episode would be revisiting the tier list and see if we still agree with where we put stuff.
Yeah. Because I've been thinking about that specifically for this year. I think we should even maybe we'll see if we actually make the tier list. But I honestly keep coming back every time I see a movie. I'm still like, did that beat John Wick 4? Like John Wick 4 is still kind of the leader for my movie of the year.
I liked Barbie better than John Wick 4.
Barbie was also great. Barbie's up there. Oppenheimer, Barbie, John Wick 4. I mean, Evil Dead Rise was amazing.
Evil Dead Rise is probably above John Wick 4 for me as well.
Evil Dead Rise should easily be movie of the year for me.
Ninjas
was above
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, was that
for anime at least?
Dungeons and Dragons?
I think so.
Because this movie was great. Movie of the year, I don't know, but definitely comedy of the year.
We're now on Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, I think we can be.
Okay, and it's the same director as Game Night.
Yeah.
And that was our crossover jump. Nick gave Game Night an A.
Yeah, we all liked it. Okay. We all liked Game Night.
I think I gave it an A or a B as well. I can't recall. Maybe I gave it a B plus.
They were definitely funny. Yeah.
I'm trying to rank, but there were multiple moments where I laughed out loud.
Yeah, there were some good moments
what
there.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone else watch this?
I did. I watched it last night.
You watched it last night? I thought it was all right. That's my
Yeah.
I think after seeing Barbie, are they both Hasbro?
That I don't know. I feel like there was and Dragons. It was bought by something big.
There's a title card in the movie.
Sure
Barbie's Mattel, and this is Hasbro.
Yeah. Okay.
I think. There was a title card at some point in the movie. I swear. Okay, whatever. After seeing that and what they were able to do with that toy, this felt like they could it was there, but it wasn't a home run. We can go back to my baseball references. Nice. They did
like a single.
Are you catching these baseball references?
It was like a double. You know what I mean? Maybe a triple.
Started to do something.
I enjoyed it, and some of the special effects was dope. Like when that dude pulls the monster out of the human cat person out of the monster's mouth. Do you recall this, Nick?
No, I have no idea. Cat monster person.
Yeah. You know the gentleman. Chris Pine's the main guy we're following, right? And he's like, I hate this guy, yada yada. His people killed my people. But then he's got to show him to the helmet. The tall knight guy. He's got powers and he fights all of those witches and kills all of them.
Oh! Of course.
The good-looking guy, and he's got like a tattoo on his forehead.
Yeah, when they're on their way to the helm, and they're doing the booby traps, and and he's fighting the red sorcerers like
So
armies.
there's a scene where when you first meet him, he pulls this like cat person out of the mouth of this like giant monster.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
Yes,
yeah,
that
I know
guy.
what you're talking
Yes,
about.
that guy.
Yeah.
Jay.
And when they're walking around town, when they're like, I know whatever he is, like he's a paladin. He's a paladin, is what he is, right? Yeah.
I don't remember. Like, I'll be honest. I don't remember any of the characters' names or anything.
I don't know
none
the
of
character
it
names,
stuck.
but I remember their archetypes because, I know Dungeon. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I know, bard, paladin, magician, druid, changeling, whatever they want to call it. And also that thing in, I think it's called a curl in Final Fantasy. And so I was like, whoa, that's like, I thought that was like a Final Fantasy thing. And I was like, is that just a Dungeons and Dragons thing? I thought that was so cool.
Well, that video game that
the
hella people are talking about and playing right now. It's something ball.
Starfield?
No.
Baldur's Field.
Baldur's Gate. They mentioned Baldur's Gate in this movie.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's like a big fantasy thing, like trope.
And I was like, that's like the video game that everyone's been raving about. That's interesting.
I kind of want to play that game. Everyone is saying it's like the best.
Like, this had some cool moments and stuff. The storyline's pretty basic. You kind of see where it's going from the get-go. They start off with it being like a voiceover thing. Like, they're almost like you think they're playing the board game. And that was interesting for a moment. I could have dealt with...
sure they were going to pull back.
Yeah, right?
And it's going to be them sitting around a table. I for sure I thought that's what it was going to be.
And I think that, like, with Jumanji, in the Barbie movie, and these other things, they've just done a better job at, like...
of acknowledging it.
Wrapping it up. You know what I mean?
Mm.
This could have been a little more Jumanji, at least with, like, the wrapping it up. Because it's a real game.
Yeah.
Jumanji ain't even a real game. I mean,
That's
I'm sure it is now, but it wasn't you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, altogether, I'd give it a C plus B minus for me. I just don't think it had rewatchability. I don't think I'll ever really. If somebody was like, "Hey, everyone was hanging out," and they're like, "I'm gonna put this on," I wouldn't be upset, but I also wouldn't vote to put it on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
She was great in it. Chick from Fast and Furious.
Yeah, Letty.
Yeah, she was good.
Rodriguez.
I thought the cast was great. Like, I do agree that, like, I probably won't watch this again. Having said that, though, I hope they make a sequel. Like, I'd give this an A. I'll probably never watch the first one again, though.
I'll watch the sequel too, Nick. I will say that. I will watch the sequel.
And I really, just to piggyback off of what you just said, I really thought Chris Pine and is it Jessica Rodriguez? Something Gabrielle Rodriguez? Letty.
I just said it. Michelle. Dog.
Michelle. I knew there was an L in there. I thought they together were hilarious. It's like, it's like if this were like the buddy cop movie, it's kind of they're the buddy cops. Like, I thought they were great.
Yeah, it worked. There's a weird ending thing that, like, it was like, oh, really? That's how you're gonna do it? In my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, altogether,
Hugh Grant is a bad guy. That was cool.
But he's not really the bad guy. It's more of like the
double spoiler.
Yeah, it's like a double spoiler.
Yeah.
But that's like a stupid spoiler because you could tell from the get-go, you're like, that's not how this is gonna work out. Stupid.
Yeah.
You should watch this one and
The
compare
original?
them.
Yeah, we should.
That's
We
Marlon Wayans and him.
Jeremy Irons.
What year did this come out, Jerry?
Yeah. 2000.
Oh yeah, we gotta watch that. We gotta
We'll tag
watch
that onto the Dune one. We'll compare both Dunes and both Dungeons and Dragons.
Both Dungeons and Dragons, yeah.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dunes.
Yeah, that's what that episode will be called.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we can move on.
Dungeons and Dragons.
So,
no need to stay on
here's
Dungeons and Dragons
a classic one. Would you recommend I watch it?
Oh, you didn't watch it? I thought you watched it.
No.
Oh, for some reason, I thought we were all watching. Oh, my bad.
No,
and Vivarium.
We mentioned it at the beginning. We said only me and you did. I mean, Jay, if you're just looking for a feel goodery that you're gonna slap on, and maybe you're doing something in the background,
Yeah.
SBK loves us
The
to do.
BK would special, yeah.
Yeah, the BK special.
Yeah, I'd say for sure. I'd say you should for sure watch this. Again, you don't. I wouldn't.
The pacing's good, and like it goes by.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours maybe, but it's not
Okay.
gonna like.
I don't have to like.
And I feel
It's
like
a
it
pretty
would
basic
be
storyline. You know what I mean?
it's a very basic storyline, and it's like there's really in the grand scheme of things, there's not that much action. It's way more comedy. Like it's way more like Chris Pine annoying the other members of the cast, and then a fight happens, and then long talking scene, lots of jokes, fights. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I hate to say it, but like because we're moving on to One Piece next, them as a crew and flushing those characters out more, like the girl with the powers gets a whole episode, the wizard dude gets a whole episode. It could have worked better as a 8-episode television series, like this new age, like one and done.
Yeah.
Like because then you could have flushed out each character. The thing about Dungeons and Dragons, you kind of meet each person, and they get like a little bit of a flashback.
Yeah.
But like, you don't. That's not like I didn't care about them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I pretty much only cared about Chris Pine.
Yeah, because he's the funny one.
And like you like because you get like his backstory, and then you get a little bit of Letty's backstory. Like when you go to her.
Yeah, there's a great cameo. There's a great cameo.
Yeah.
There is a great cameo.
And then you get even less. You get less of the wizard, less of the druid.
Jared,
like, it's like
watch it for the cameo. Actually, Nick D.
I would even. I almost
Nick D.
Like,
I almost forgot about that.
Cameo.
Yeah. Nick D.
The cameo is funny.
Watch it. There's a good cameo. Nick D. Great. That was.
I like that. Like a
when they go to her
cameo.
You're right. But see, Nick, feel me out on this. You know all like the smaller like guards and stuff that have like one-liners.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the movie have been even bigger or like better and bigger if they could have just like. Not like big cameos, but smaller people from maybe we were more familiar with.
I 100% agree. Like, you know that one scene where they're about to get their heads chopped off and she's talking to that guy about sharpening the axe?
Yeah.
That should have been like Michael Cera or something. You know, like if it's just like you said, like a little one and done character, it's like get someone that it's like, because the movie moves so much that like you spend a lot of time with them interacting with just people that are gone in a second. So it's like it'd be really cool if those were little like, dude, that's
so like the scene that comes to my mind is when like the wizard dude projects Chris Pine playing the and then he starts to like morph or whatever, and there's like 3 guards. There's 3 guards coming around him. It's like, dude, those 3 guards could have been like Keenan and Peele or something. Something. And it would have just been like a funny like little moment. I don't know. And some movies do that, and it sucks. Yeah,
but like in this, because this movie
was made for it.
It's because it's just 2 hours of because it is a game. You know, you have to kind of follow the Dungeons and Dragons thing. So it by the very nature of it, you're like, well, they're not at the thing yet, so we got to get them to the thing.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Anyways,
but
One Piece, baby. We all finished it now. I think the last time we talked about it, we hadn't finished it, right?
No. Well, I don't know. I did.
I think
we had finished it last week, but we forgot to talk about it.
Yeah.
But
1 week won't shut up about it. Next week can't even remember to talk about it.
It already got. They already announced that it's getting a second season.
Writer strike be damned.
They already finished writing the second season, so that's why they were able to say that it's getting a second season because the writing's already done.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because like
I liked it.
They like kind of hint at like a lot of stuff, and it ends with a loose cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What are you giving it, Jerry? Now that you finished it,
I'd give it an A.
Legos.
Solid A.
Solid A.
Yeah, I like the clown.
Yeah, he was great.
That was cool.
Do we remember? Does anyone remember his name? I don't remember all the jokes about it. Was it Bubbly? Bubbles?
No.
Wasn't it like Gumbo or Gummy?
It's that's closer than Bubbles. Yeah, it's something like that.
Any last guesses?
No.
Buggy.
I would have never got there. Buggy.
No.
I would have never got there.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I liked how they did, like, you know, the way they stretch his skin and all that stuff, and it worked. It was like it being live action and them doing all that. It was like, oh, okay, if they actually like go and like try to, it's like, oh, they can make a good anime, I guess, a good live action anime, and they just did a bad job with Cowboy Bebop, which I'm pretty sure I started but didn't finish.
I think people are over exaggerating that one. I don't think that one was too bad compared to other ones. Other ones we've seen.
It was just the first big Western one. You know what I mean? Like that was no matter what it was going to get chewed up.
Dragon Ball, Avatar are the first two.
Yeah, that's right.
And those are like
Dragon Ball's terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Like those are like hot trash.
Guyver too, and Guyver's
no, that's what I'm saying. Like there's been a lot.
Yeah.
No. My point is being Netflix. If Netflix actually, when they actually care, they really can do it well. It's just for whatever reason that one just didn't translate well or whatever. This one was wild.
Controlled environment with it being the pirates and how they were able to like, I don't know, like sci-fi and whatever this is, like pirate adventure. I think it's almost easier to do the anime pirate adventure than the anime sci-fi.
I definitely
anime
think
sci-fi is like
it requires a lot more just money to make things look like that. Yeah.
And there's so much source material to work with One Piece, because I watched some video where it was like explaining how all the different stuff that they pulled in. Like they didn't just pull in like the grandpa storyline, spoilers, like that doesn't get flushed out to like couple seasons, but they use that to add it on to the best friend homie who joins the Marines, and they kind of mix two storylines, but they did it really clean. I just watched some dude explain like how the show worked. And even like Buggy, like he's only in his first episode is in season 1, but then we don't catch back up with him until a couple seasons later or something. But in the live action, they like used him as like the
one that's like the main bad guy.
They used the body part of his head to like make the storyline make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like he was the bridge between the big bad and the medium bad. Like they're like, okay, we can kind of collapse some stuff here.
We're like with Cowboy Bebop, they like, I don't know, they kind of dropped the ball on a lot of that.
I also think there's a big difference in Cowboy Bebop went in with the idea of like, well, we're not going to try to do like a 1-to-1. We're going to like change some stuff and we're going to like add some stuff. It doesn't really feel like and I don't know, I didn't watch One Piece, but it doesn't really feel like One Piece is like adding a lot. They might be changing to condense, but they're not like, let's take Julia and turn her into this whole different thing. Where now, like, you know, it ends with like Vicious locked up in a basement, and it's like, what? Like, One Piece seems to be trying to be true to it, not.
They're leaving stuff out so far, from my understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like characters we haven't met yet that are like even in the crew, because they're and part of it looks like it's because they're like weird creatures even.
That's cool.
Like there's like a skeleton dude, and then there's like a little like teddy bear person or something weird going on.
That's cool.
And they haven't. I don't know if they will. I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
I haven't seen either of those.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you guys a link to this video I watched. It's a new Rockstar. It's cool. It's definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Jer. I think that they've stepped up the bar 100%. Like they're clearly like on the right direction with this, but that I also think that could also be just One Piece. Like if they try to do another anime like live JoJo, could see them dropping the ball. You know what I mean? Like or live Attack on Titan or something. I don't know. Just throwing ideas out, right? Like one of the big ones, and then I think totally messing it up.
Yeah, like it all depends on how much CG and then how much are you willing to commit to like practical effects? Like, what's great about this is like all the monster people, it's all like makeup.
Yeah.
The CG is just, you know, like background. Like, I'm sure like all that ocean is CG, and I'm sure like, you know,
parts of the boat.
Yeah, parts of the boat and Luffy's stretchiness, but for the most part, you know, they don't really have to do a lot. When you start adding like a bunch of monsters and shit and spaceships, it's like, yeah.
Well, they had that one big monster come up for like a millisecond.
Oh, that was cool too. Like that was a cool scene. You can tell they're like, all right, we're gonna put a lot of money into this one little scene because it's very stylized, but it looked cool. I like the way that thing looked.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, yeah. It didn't look bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean this was done really, really well. I was hooked from the beginning. I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. So
yeah, I'll definitely watch season 2.
I give it an A, not an A plus. I just give it just a solid A, and I'll definitely check out season
like
2.
That looks fine. I'm fine with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
There's just a couple scenes that are like pretty like extreme corniness, like when he's a kid and he eats the fruit, the death fruit or whatever it is, magical fruit.
Gum.
And then the scene where just the ones that stand out to me where she goes out and starts cutting herself in the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he like grabs her from behind, and then like they exchange some words, and he turns around, and like then the rest of the crew pops out of the bushes. It's one of the corniest scenes in the whole show for sure.
When you translate anime directly over like that, it's
exactly.
Like, oh, wow.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
You can tell like this. Yeah. This is frame for frame. Even the end where they all put the foot up on the bucket, like that's straight frame for frame from the anime. I saw like a little comparison video.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna give it, Nick?
I'd give it an A, but I also say though, like I really liked it until I actually thought the last episode was like the weakest. Not that it was a bad episode, but it just felt like it's like, oh, dude, this feels like a halfway point. This isn't even like a cliffhanger. This feels like the first half of a season.
Yeah.
And with the writer strike, I was like, dude, it's gonna be like 2 years before we get another one of these. So I'm glad to hear you say that it is already confirmed for another one. Thought it was great, but it definitely didn't even feel like a cliffhanger ending. It just kind of like, and we're stopping.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I
could have done with even one more episode. Even one more episode, just wrap it up a little bit more.
Dude,
start something new so that way I feel hyped, you know?
Or guarantee we're doing it by this time next year we get it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, absolutely loved it, but it did just, like I said, it didn't even fizzle out. It just, you stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jerry, what would you say?
A.
Oh, A's across the
board.
Solid.
Yeah.
Triple A.
I enjoyed it.
I'd recommend it too, Sisu. I can see you enjoying it. It's a fun pirate like adventure.
Yeah.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean was cool. It'd be this.
And I feel like it's kind of perfect. Like you can watch it and take it seriously, and then you can also kind of watch it and be like, this is so cheesy, and kind of like you kind of get both sides of enjoyment of like judging it, but also really liking it.
Yeah.
Like Luffy, Sisu, I'll say Luffy like really won me over by the end. In like the first couple of episodes, I was like, oh man, this guy's pretty annoying. Like
you call him
like it's hard to watch.
Not Luffy?
I honestly don't know what it is.
Okay.
Every time I say it different. I don't know if it's Luffy, like low. Sometimes is it Luffy? Sometimes like I don't.
I have no clue. I call him Luffy for some reason.
I always say I don't even think I always say it's sometimes I say Luffy.
Jared, what do you say?
Do we know? Yeah, like is there
Luffy.
any?
It's Luffy? Okay.
Pretty sure it's Luffy. That's what they say.
Yeah, that guy's
great
badass.
Cast. Yeah, he was great.
Want to see more of this dude?
Role that he had.
Yeah. I mean, it's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sisu is right. The
Definitely
only people that don't like pirates are the NBA. That's a reference to this week's episode of Sisu Reviewee. So
love it.
If you want to find out more on that, comment. Sisu, that was a great little cross promotion right there. Watch the other show.
Yeah. Go like and subscribe.
Jerry, you watch, you get that reference, yeah?
No, I do watch, but no, I don't.
Well, Jerry, go rewatch the episode.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, I think there was one point I went to the store. I don't know.
Todd Field.
So
let me
I
ask
watched
you
this
something,
today.
Jerry, before you get into this. The trailer makes this feel like some of this is like a bizarre movie where there's like weird stuff going on. But then I saw it was based off a lady's life. Is this a biop or is this like a weird telling?
I don't think it's a real person.
Oh, really?
They definitely make it seem that way.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess it is a real life person.
Okay.
Yeah, real person. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I swear I like.
Wait, no. See now, no, it was not a real person. So I can't read. Is not a real person.
But the way the original write up is written, right? When you look at it on Amazon, it sounds like it's a real person.
Yeah, they.
It's like a Blair Witch kind of thing. They want you to believe it's real.
They just don't specify. I don't know. They write it in an interesting way. That's like, okay, I guess seems like a real person. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's weird. It's definitely weird, but like I then do the classic, watched it, then look something up, and it's like, oh, I missed a lot of weird stuff. So it's definitely a lot weirder if you catch these things in it.
Like, and when you say that, like, what do you mean? Like, is this like a mystery movie? Like, how is it weird?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Like in the background, in some scenes, there's like a shadow woman that's like in the back that if you see it, you see her. And it's like, oh, wow, I missed a bunch of that. So then it kind of does change, like thinking back on it of like, oh, it's one of those like.
She's like losing her mind, right? Or that's what.
It's kind of, it's a thing of like, at what point is this not real, or was any of it not real? Was just a certain part real and then it got weird? It does become a like, oh, at what point does that get blurred of like reality and her mind?
Is this like a horror movie? Like, what kind of movie is this?
No, because
it's like, wow, that's like, you're kind of blowing my mind right now. This is
like if I had to compare it to
the trailer's weird.
I remember watching the trailer last year when we were doing Oscar shit, and it's like I don't remember any of this. It was just about a composer, like.
Yeah, like so
I need to go back and watch the trailer. I'm gonna go back and watch the trailer.
It's like Whiplash, but like then at the end it was like, whoa, was this more than just a like suspense? Or it was a like, oh wow, is there something going on here that I didn't realize? So it's almost like, oh, it's long and it's a little slow. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, but if Karina was like, oh, I want to watch that, I probably would sit down and rewatch it, but I don't think I would jump back in of like, oh, I want to see all this weird stuff again, because there's nothing blatantly weird.
Yeah.
And so do you think so? What is, and again, I don't know if this is spoiler or not, but I don't care. I don't know if Tubes or Sisu cares, but like, are like, if we were to skinamarink it and take it at face value, what is the thing? Is she going crazy, or is there a shadow woman following her? Like, what do you think is going on? Like, is it a mental health movie like Swallow, or is it more like, no, it might be a ghost. Like, a ghost might be fucking with her.
No, there's no.
It's more. I thought it was more of a mental breakdown kind of vibe.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like, it does become a thing of like, again, I don't know how much of a spoiler you want or whatnot, but
I might actually check it out. I might actually.
Yeah, exactly. It is a thing of like, yeah, there's nothing's messing with her, but again, it just becomes a thing of by the end, I guess it's like, oh, was this narrated reliably or not?
Okay.
In a sense,
Yeah.
like it starts
Yeah.
off very much like, oh, I know what this is about. I know where we're going. Then by the end, it kind of was like, what? But
Yeah.
not in a like, oh my God, what? It was just like, huh,
Yeah.
interesting. It definitely was like, oh, I would never want to be a conductor or like in an orchestra. Just seems awful.
Not if shadow people are following you around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Seems
If you
pretty
wanted
whack.
to watch this,
Yeah,
it
I
is
probably will watch it. Yeah. I'm gonna
it's
watch it.
definitely a like, oh, I can see this is an award show movie. You
Yeah,
know,
it seemed like
Yeah.
it's filmed well. I do wonder. You'll have to tell me like how like do you think there was any character development for her? But yeah, it's definitely like I see why this was nominated for a bunch of stuff.
it only got one Oscar nomination though. I think it only got she got a nomination, but not the movie.
Yeah.
Which
Mhm.
so what do you so you're right. I all right, that's the recommendation, but what do you give it? What's the Jerry rating here?
A minus B plus.
Okay.
Wow.
Like it was good.
But
It
you
had me thinking.
not really
Like I said,
rewatchability though, unless somebody hadn't
I
seen it.
doubt I would exactly. I doubt I would put it on myself to rewatch it for those moments. But again, if somebody else wanted to watch it, like, yeah, I'll sit down and watch that with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
it did get wow, they got way more than I thought. Huh. I'm tripping.
And so, did you get any vibe that this was somehow related to Bliss? Like, you think it's possible that maybe does she know Owen Wilson?
Maybe there. You know, I saw a wallet flicker.
What?
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
So maybe it's in the EBU, the Extended Bliss Universe. Okay.
Nice. All right. Well,
Because there's definitely a movie on the list tonight that I don't know, maybe could be related to Bliss.
I might check this out. I think
I think I'm gonna check this out too. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it is a little long, a little slow, but
I
don't know.
wanted
I
to
enjoyed
see
it.
it before I knew there were shadow people in it.
Yeah.
Like, and now I'm like, wow, this is like way cooler than I expected. Like, I thought this was Tubes. I thought it was like what you said, where it's like this is about a real life woman, and like she worked really hard to get to the top of a symphony. Like, I thought it was one of those kind of.
The early trailers make it seem like that, but there's an extended trailer, especially now that it's out on DVD or Blu-ray or streaming. There's like an extended trailer that's a couple minutes long that really like shows what the movie's about.
Okay.
And that's when I noticed.
Again, Nick, you're thinking it's going to be like It Follows and there's some crazy slow shadow creature following it. Not at all. Again, it's not even again, but it's not like the typical horror where it's like they like slightly pan a little slower. They really didn't seem to draw attention to it. Yeah.
And let me ask you this: now that you've seen it, you've seen the shadow. Have you seen the shadow one? Like, you saw it?
Yeah.
Like, so does it look cool, or is it like no?
It's not
like Insidious.
No,
like
again, like me, me saying shadow. It's literally just a thing that's I think in maybe 2 or 3 shots. It's not even all over the place. It's in a few shots that was just like, oh, I didn't notice that. And
so that's the game for next week. Who's got the highest number of shadow people they counted? Sadu, can you beat Jair's number of 2? I'm going for 3.
I'm going for 4.
Yeah, all right, Tube's saying he's got 4 shadow people this week. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, what's our next?
Any guys in this trailer? We should also be looking in this trailer. Is there a shadow person?
No, that's
they should have done a meta one behind her in the interview. That would have been dope.
And then big change. I finished a book, listening to a book. I didn't read it. This
Audible?
week, Dark Matter. Yeah, Audible. Multiverse, book about the multiverse.
Oh,
that's cool.
It was entertaining.
How'd you hear about it?
Karina listened to it first and was like, oh, listen to it. And then there was in my opinion, there was a flaw in the way that things worked that they didn't address by the end. The way traveling works or whatever. That was like, I don't know, Blake. Tighten up your research. That'd be my review.
Is this fictional or fiction?
Yeah, fiction, sci-fi. straight up sci-fi. But yeah,
What
it was.
This is pretty good.
I guess like a B plus.
Okay.
I'd recommend it. But yeah, there was.
Would you compare it to anything like vibe wise? Like, does it like, oh, it kind of feels like 12 Monkeys or something, or like vibe wise, does it have a feel to it?
Shadow People?
Like, so
Yeah,
have you
Shadow People confirmed?
Couple Shadow People. More than Shadow People in this one, actually. This actually has stuff following the main character.
Okay.
People, yeah.
Full blown 3D.
Have you like seen Primer? Like that time travel movie?
Is that
like
the one
that?
where they go in the where they coffin thing, and it's like making duplicates? Where they crawl into like the coffin thing? It's like making duplicates. Yeah, that movie. That's by the same guy who did the one where he drills a hole in his head, right? Pi.
Yeah, see, it's not. Yeah, it's not crazy like those, like that. It's not. But just like again, just that, like the whole timeline thing of like.
I like Primer. Yeah, I like Primer.
So kind of like that. Yeah, it was interesting, but yeah, definitely a issue of like, wait, you said that it works this way, but how is it? How are you saying this later? So again, Blake, tighten up your research.
Come on,
pal.
Blake. Come on, Blake.
I'll check it out. How's the and since you did audio, how is the narration? Like, is it read in a cool way?
It's a dude does all the voices.
Accents?
It was fine.
Accents, yeah.
Nah, no accents. Just kind of like talks a little softer if he's doing like the wife, and then does a little rougher if he has to do a different guy. Then he's got a normal voice. He's no Will Sasso of impersonations, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. I'm listening to an audiobook right now, and it's good. The guy's doing a good job, but he's really going for it. Like Tubes, he hits the accents real hard. He hits the women like he really like raises his voice and tries to sound like I'm like, wow, man, this guy's he's going for it.
Okay.
Like,
real quick, Karina just listened to Sandman Audible, and she said it's a full production of like Kat Dennings in it.
Love Kat Dennings.
Wait, the comics?
I feel like it's I think it's like a Audible, like it's a storyteller version of the Sandman story. I've seen it on Audible. I haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
You guys still need to watch that. You guys are fools. Watch that.
I need.
I'm telling you, like that's the.
You know, honestly, what it is. I never check in on Netflix. One Piece was the thing that got me to watch it. Yeah, I'll go to Sandman.
Everyone needs to watch Sandman.
Put Netflix on. Netflix is usually kind of whack, but they're turning it around.
Dude, Sandman was good, dude. Sandman was
I know. That's why I've literally heard nothing but good things about it.
That's interesting, Cherry. You got me intrigued by that. Because that's a great story. I might have to look into that, Karina.
Sandman. Yeah, full production. She said it was good. Really liked it.
Now, spin me round. Jared, did you end up watching this or no?
No, not yet. Okay. But I want to.
Interesting movie. I don't know where to put this. Like, it's kind of like a thriller. It's like a rom-com thriller, but not that much rom-commingness. It's not like
unrated.
Was it? Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I don't know why that. There's not like there's pee-pees in it or boobies. It's pretty straight.
Did they play the song? Did they play the "You Spin Me Right"? I can't sing anymore, otherwise we'll get sued.
Yeah. It was so dead on.
They don't play it. You're gonna name your movie that and not play it?
I don't think so. No. Aubrey Plaza is interesting in this movie. It's an interesting movie. I don't want to give too much away from it because I think Jerry, you should definitely check it out. It'd be something worth watching, maybe with Karina or something. Nick, you might enjoy it too. Nick, you might be into this.
Yeah.
There's some good comedy scenes in it. She's great.
I love Molly Shannon. It looks like it's got an awesome cast.
Yeah, the cast is great in it.
Who's the guy? I can't tell who that is.
I don't know who he is, but that dude.
I just know him.
You remember The Office, the assistant guy, assistant to the owner when the lady owned it? No, not like a main character. Zach Woods.
Yeah. I love Zach Woods, dude. That guy's hilarious.
Yeah, he's in it. Zach Woods, and he's funny. He's got a
he should have been in Vivarium. He would have been a good house seller in Vivarium.
Oh, and then Tim Tim's in it.
Oh, dude, Tim Heidecker. I was just watching
and
one of his movie reviews before the show started.
He does a whole thing, and like then there's this weird like scenario going on. Like all these people that work at this restaurant are asked to come to Italy. All these people that work at pretty much like the Olive Garden are asked to come to Italy to do this like seminar kind of vibe. And then some crazy stuff unfolds while they're at that seminar, but it's only like 6 people.
Like Triangle of Sadness type shit or Menu type shit? Like is it like in that vein?
Yes. But way softer.
Okay.
Way softer, but same kind of like vibe, Nick.
Yeah. And then what was that show you guys watched about the hotel that's murdering people? On an island with Stifler's mom? It seems like this is like a big
White
vibe
Lotus.
right now.
White Lotus.
Yeah, it seems like this kind of like destination that's very dangerous. It's very hot right now. It's like the new multiverse.
It's got kind of
go on a vacation, but it's not what you think it is.
This is like softcore White Lotus.
Okay. Yeah.
With a little bit more comedy and done in an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever it is. Or Light Lotus is like 8 episodes, hour each, which is interesting because Aubrey Plaza's in both.
Yeah,
so that's interesting. But yeah, I'd give this a B plus just because it's different. You know, it's just like I don't know. It's not like I don't know how to like. It's not a feel goodery, but at the same time, it's not a comedy, but it's still kind of upbeat at the same time. Where like White Lotus kind of gets a little dark and a little like gritty, you know,
heavy.
A little heavy and stuff. Where this still stays kind of like light.
Yeah,
you're never like the bar isn't raised to where you're like spooked that they're all gonna get like murdered or so. I don't know. It's interesting. So I give it a B.
Right on.
I'd recommend it.
Sounds good.
And I don't know if I would put it on again on my own, but if someone put it on, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be like, I've already seen this. Come on, dude. But it's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure I will check that out with Karina at some point. Like I said, we like Allison Brie. Big fans of Community.
That's what she's from? She's the girl that did all the drugs in high school and didn't graduate or whatever, right? Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
at
interesting.
least for me.
It's exactly who she is. Yeah, I liked her on Community. Yeah, for sure. Great call, Jer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great, and she's like the lead in this. It's her movie. You're following her. You're following her, and then everybody else is co-starring.
Yeah, like swims in and out around her.
Yeah. Oh wow, this is me again too. This reminded me of like a traditional HBO show. So I first want to give mad props to Apple Plus because they're really like. I don't want to say it's weird because I remember they like made fun of Seth Rogen on an episode of Entourage back in the day, and I don't want to compare this to Entourage because storyline wise it's nothing like Entourage, but like filmmaking, like the style of how it's filmed, and like the quality reminds me of that time period at HBO, Sopranos, Entourage, all those like. True Blood, whatever it may be, like when they were making that high quality content.
Yeah.
Or even you mentioned it earlier, Nick, Larry, Curb.
Yeah, Curb. Yeah, True Detective, Curb.
Yeah, they had a lot of like when they were really crushing it, right?
Ed Wood. Yeah.
I feel like
Eastbound and Down.
That's Apple Plus right now because like Mythic Quest, this Ted Lasso, like they're having a lot of shows kind of in. It definitely has that vibe, like Ted Lasso or Mythic Quest, where it's filmed, like the production value and everything is really on. They're on top of it. Seth Rogen's hilarious. He plays this like hipster loser, owns a bar, and then the Australian lady, she's the main character from Get Him to the Greek. She's Jackie O.
And she's
if you
isn't she Moira McTaggart in X-Men First Class? It's like she's helping out Professor X.
Yes, Nick D. Yes. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Couple of Neighbors.
The couple of Neighbors. They're the couple of Neighbors.
Yeah, she's in Neighbors. Yeah,
yeah.
Or
yeah.
She's fantastic, and this is mainly her show. Seth, it's her and Seth Rogen are the stars, but it's really like you're following her life. She's married.
There's the Insidious guy. Look at all this synchronicity. Go back up. Oh, they just never mind.
Yeah, it's commercial.
But yeah, the Darth Maul dude was right there.
Like that scene is in all the trailers, and I even watched that movie recently or something. That scene, and it still got me when he pops up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. I don't know if it's just because it's so bright that it's just like, pow.
I want to see that newest one because I think he's back. I think that ghost is.
But yeah, she's fantastic, dude.
Amazing. I love her.
I recommend this show. I if they do a season, I don't think they need to do a season 2. They definitely wrap it up. So this feels like a complete I think it's 10
I
episodes.
thought this was a movie. It's a show.
It's 10 episodes. Yeah, they're half hours.
Wow. Okay.
That's why I was comparing it to Mythic Quest or Ted Lasso.
I see. Yeah. For some reason, the poster made me. I thought a movie with. I thought it was going to be like another version, but with friends.
But yeah, they wrap it up at the end
neighbors.
To where you're like, oh, this doesn't necessarily need a second season. They could for sure make new situations or whatever and come back with a second season. But at the same time, you're like, oh, this was good. This is a good one-off 10 episode. It's like drama, but also feel goodery. You know what I mean? Like, they get into shenanigans. So some episodes end with like a low note, but by the end of all of it, it's pretty upbeat. It's got a bunch of good actors in it. But yeah, I'd give this a A, and I'd definitely watch a second season if they crank that out.
Yeah.
But don't force it. Don't force it, Apple Plus. Don't force it.
Yeah, I wondered about this. So you having seen it and giving it a review, I think I will now check it out.
Yeah, I'm always a Seth Rogen fan, and a great year for him. Ninja Turtles and this. I know he produced and did a lot on that Ninja's movie, and this show was pretty freaking good. So, right on, Seth. That's it.
So, this next one, Karina and I started, but then stopped watching.
So this is a lie, and I want to. There's two movies that our fans recommended us, and this is the first movie out of the two. BK, if you remember, 3 weeks ago, in the chat said we should all watch this. He said that was our homework.
This is the Adam Sandler movie.
And
that was the Adam Sandler
Nick,
movie.
that's the lie that they get you on.
It's not an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
because
that's why we turned it off.
I was looking at these pictures, and I was like, "What even is this?" I was like, "I don't remember anyone recommending this."
I don't recommend this movie. I recommend this movie for BK's niece or other kids in high school.
It's a straight bait and switch. Like the opening scene is Adam Sandler. Like they show you Adam in the beginning, and then he's just like, "Hey, here's my daughter," and then it's like, we're following them.
And it's his real daughters. Did you realize that, Jared?
Yeah, I realize it. Then they're not that great right now. They need to.
The older one, you could tell
doesn't.
The older one doesn't even care.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doesn't even want to.
Here's BK, and then I never watched it.
Welcome, BK.
Well, hold on, Nick D. Don't be welcome yet. Second, Nick D. Cool it, hot shot. He said, and then I never watched it because 2B told me not to. First off, Beaks, I didn't tell you not to. I said, man, you may I mentioned how you recommended it, and it was not what it was supposed to be. Or not what I don't want to say not what it was supposed to be, but it's not Adam Sandler.
Sure, he was there.
It's a decent movie if I was a young girl. I'm nor young, nor am I a girl, so it just didn't. Yeah. It's a weird one to watch.
And in my opinion, they are not good at acting.
I thought that I thought the middle daughter, the one that's the star, I didn't think she did a horrible job. We're watching it's legit kid acting.
It's overacted in that sense.
You'd compare it to Hannah Montana, or something of that. Well, I'm just saying, Jerry.
Come on.
I'm saying that.
Sure.
That's what we're talking about here. It's legit.
Yeah.
Kid on kid acting.
and we're not the audience for that. Like an Adam Sandler audience, it really is like, I think next was like, oh, watch this Adam Sandler movie. It's like, what?
No,
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not an Adam Sandler movie.
I actually thought that the middle, the daughter, she's only 14. The one that's the main star that's right there. For being Adam Sandler's daughter, I was like, yeah, she did a decent job. Like I watched the whole thing, and by the end of it, in my mind, I kept thinking Adam's gonna have this like big scene. Adam's gonna have this big, and he never really does.
Yeah. So when there was maybe about 10, 15 minutes when he didn't pop up, it was like, oh, Karina was actually the one who asked if we could turn it off, not me. I was about to. But
it's like all about girl stuff too.
I'm not 14. I've never had a bat mitzvah, so it's just like I can't relate to this.
The Wrong Missy, which was a David Spade movie, but it's a Happy Madison production. That's also on Netflix. That's definitely a better movie for our age group versus this.
I hear that movie is actually really dope too.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. David Spade's good in it.
I do want to see it. Yeah,
and it's a Happy Madison production. You know, it feels like a Happy Madison movie. The only cameo in this movie is go up, Jerry. It's the Latino gentleman. Yes, he's funny in it. He's got a moment. Oh, and then
Luis Guzman, hell yeah.
Jackie Hoffman. She's from Murders in the Building. The older lady with the glasses.
Yeah. She's from something else.
Oh,
She's funny.
She's funny. She's in Murders in the Building. Is she in Curb as well? Maybe.
No. Like I'm like like there's something.
Well, iCarly. There you go, Chair. Yeah, I don't know, but
there's definitely something. Though.
She's funny. There's some moments in this movie that are funny. It's just not. I wouldn't recommend this. I wouldn't tell anyone like, hey, you gotta watch this.
No.
Yeah.
You're not missing anything by not seeing it. 30 Rock? No,
it's probably 30. Yeah, it's probably 30. Well,
maybe it's 30. Yeah,
no, it's just one of.
She's in Curb.
Is she in Curb?
Yeah, it definitely. Feels like a
Force. That's early season.
Switch.
By Netflix. Yeah, for sure. I give it. I give it a C+. It's just I'm not the right person to judge this film, and I it's not like it's bad quality or anything. The production seemed large. Like it wasn't like a crummy Netflix movie. Like it was large production and everything.
Yeah, it was a full blown movie, but I bailed.
Yeah,
that's my review.
I don't judge you on that one, Jerry. No judging at all on the bailing on that. It's not meant for. It's just not meant for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's a kids movie that doesn't stretch far enough to engage a wider audience.
BK, your homework is to watch it and come back and tell us what you think.
So yeah, this is now the last thing for That's You by Yourself, Tubes. You had a funny story.
Oh no! My funny story was Ahsoka, but yeah, we went to this too. We should pull the Ahsoka, which is the reason we moved the episode last week. Yeah, we went to this. It was cool. It was a good, dope concert. I don't know why. I just slapped it in there just to mention it. It was dope. No effects. Final show. Good times. Yeah. Saw a bunch of bands. Me and Austin, while we were in line waiting to get a drink, this dude in the line next to us. This is like daytime too, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cement. It's like a parking lot. Not even cement, it's asphalt. You know what I'm saying? This dude face slams. And this dude's like 45, 50.
Yeah.
Older white dude just crumbles right onto his face. And then they help him up, and he's just gleeking out of his forehead.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
What happened? Was he?
He'd had one too many to drink. Yeah.
Fuck.
And that was crazy to see that.
Yeah.
Ran into Kyle Summers. Shout out. This is the OverShow, so shout out to Kyle. As you may know him as the guy that got shot in the testicles with an airsoft gun. I think that was the second OverShow movie. Jerry?
I thought so.
Second OverShow movie? BK, Sisu, somebody check me on that. Second OverShow movie. We shot Kyle in the testicles. But yeah, cool to see Kyle. Hadn't seen him in a while. We usually run into him at the punk rock show, so that was good to run into him. And then we split into two teams. And BK and Ryan went off into the pit, as they would. And me and Austin went over to the right because the parking lot was on a slight incline. And Austin, because he said he was a little bit shorter, wanted to get a better view. So from over on the right side, we were able to get a better view. But there was this lesbian couple, I'm going to go full deets here, that kept making out during each song intermission. You know what I'm saying, Jerry?
No Effects is so romantic.
They would play a song, and then they would either make out or one of them would like rope this vape and just blow smoke like right into this group of like people. So much so the people kept moving to get away from it. And Austin said, I'd get some points if I either got a selfie with the smoke or them making out. And I got the photo with the two of them making out. Because it was frequently, dude. It was like on a clock. You know, like the band would the band would play a song. And then they would like in between each song, No Effects likes to make jokes, which was funny. They're funny. Shout out to Fat Mike. It's Fat Mike, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Fat Mike.
Yeah.
He make jokes or, you know, say some inappropriate stuff. And every time, like on clockwork, this would happen. And it's like right, you know what I'm saying? We've all been to concerts. It's like right there in front of you. It's like,
yeah. You're all mushed in there.
No spatial awareness. So yeah. Well, no one's really around her because she kept blowing smoke on people. So they had like
yeah.
It's a little like
you could
ring.
see Austin stoked in that photo too.
Dude, that's a great shot of Austin. Look how juiced he looks.
Did they play The Decline? Because that was my favorite song.
That would have been so sick.
Yes.
Yeah, what did they play? Like, here, can you pull up the set list actually, Jer?
I'll say this. That day was like Laggin' Wagon, Swinging Utters, Circle Jerks. All those bands have songs from Tony Hawk video games. So
yeah.
Just periodically throughout the day, you would just hear a track. You're like, that was in TPA, you know, number 2, number 3.
Yeah.
Like which, you know, one was that in? So it was a good time. It was a good time.
There's a new. This has nothing to do with anything but. There's a new iPhone coming out this week. And so naturally, my iPhone is breaking. It is so hard just to get it to charge now. That's what I'm fiddling with right now. I'm like, oh my God, my phone's about
BK just said it was the final song they played that day.
The Decline? No way.
Oh, no, BK.
Holy shit. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Eat the meat.
Yeah, they played 36 songs. Yeah, it was dope.
That's crazy.
But there's a better song, or a better song. There's a better story here to be told, which is ours. I see BK saying he already watched the new episode of Ahsoka. There's a better story here about what happened to us last Tuesday.
This is a great set list.
So let me get into what happened last Tuesday real quick. Tuesday.
Whoa. Let's set the mood.
I mean, you can pull it up.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, go on.
So last Tuesday, we moved the show because I had something going on, and so did you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
I didn't talk about
just
that.
Gonna single me out like that. Nick's got nothing going on.
Nick had nothing going on. He could have totally hung out with all of you. He chose not to. He's like, Nick was like, I'm not doing the show Tuesday without you guys, so we had to do it on Monday. So we moved the show. Well, it just adds to the story for me because like we moved the show to Monday. Tuesday, I'm like, we're going to go see Ahsoka, episode 5. This is about to be
live
dope.
Live
event. BK scores tickets from the Instagram, the Star Wars Instagram. We're going to drive out.
Bring your lightsabers.
No, and I'm glad I didn't. I actually even forgot to wear my Star Wars outfit. BK brought it and changed into it when we were in the parking lot. So we're all stoked. Star Wars, Ahsoka. I like on Sunday of last week, I watched all the Ahsoka episodes just to like get hyped.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
We pull up. We're leisure. We're super taking our time, which was I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, no big deal. I'm so used to movies now being you just walk in and you have your assigned seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in line, and there's a fat line right when we turn the corner or come up the escalator. It's like line from like the door around the building, and I'm like, oh
Wow.
shoot. So we get in line. Line starts to barely move. Homie comes outside. And he's in street clothes, and he like yells like, "There's only 30 more seats in the theater. You're not all getting in." We're like, "Oh, what?" So then BK pulls out the tickets, which he had printed out of his pocket, and he reads that it says, "First come, first serve. We oversold the event to make sure that the room is full." Or something to that extent.
Wow.
That's some bullshit.
So we stood there for a while. A few people left. He came out and handed out posters. The posters got up to like 3 people away from us, and they ran out of posters.
Oh,
3 or 4 people in front of us. They ran out of posters, so we didn't get the poster. It's whatever. I don't need a poster. What am I gonna do with it? It would have been
Throw
cool,
it
but
out
whatever.
later,
Yeah. And then we stood there till like right before they started. They maybe they let in like 20 more people. Well, I guess they let 30 more people in because that's how much they said they had. We were maybe still to like, we were under the overhang at that point. So we weren't in the parking structure anymore. And that was that.
Wow.
We did not get to see the live Ahsoka event, even though
That's
BK
whack.
did score the tickets. The guy said that people had been lining up, I think he said 9 o'clock. BK, correct me if I'm wrong. He said people started.
In the morning?
Yes. And this is at 5. We maybe got there at 4:15, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Like BK said, I think they hired a different company to put the event on. So
Yeah. Like when we
can't
did
blame the theater.
Jay and Silent Bob thing.
Yeah, you
I
can't
mean, I
blame the theater.
hope Dave Filoni hears this and decides to make it up, because this is pretty outrageous, if you ask me. You're pretty furious. I can tell. It's okay.
My thing is that
get in contact.
There was a disclaimer, number 1. Number 2, with the writing strike and the acting and writing strike going on currently, and how they can't do any promotional stuff. This is a genius promotional thing, because they made an event that was over full to where people were going to get upset and maybe go to the internet. And of course, I told them not to. But of course, Baked with BK went right ahead and wrote to them.
I love it. Hold Disney accountable. Hold Disney accountable. Yeah.
BK let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney, and just so you know, our friend Brendan Kelly deserves tickets, some merch, maybe you know what? No. He doesn't want tickets for Ahsoka bullshit. He wants 2 nights on that Disney cruise thing.
That's
with
over.
Star Wars.
That's over too, Nick. That's already over.
That's already
Bring
over.
it back.
That's over.
Bring it back so BK can have 2 nights on it by himself.
Sure.
Still
maybe
the staff,
one of those
though.
lightsabers.
Yeah, one of those lightsabers.
He'll take one of those.
I just want to say, Disney, I don't care at all. If you'd like to give us early access as journalists, because journalists got in before us. So all I'm saying is we would love to have been there so we could talk about it here on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking for that in. in. But yeah, the episode was all right too. Like, I like the episode.
I still haven't watched it.
Nick hasn't watched it, and Jared hasn't even started the show. So we'll wait till the season wraps up, and then we'll have Sith Lord BK come on and discuss why Jared's an idiot.
And where are we? Is there 2 left? 3 left?
Tonight tonight's 6, and there's 8, so there's 2 more left.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll get into that once it's all wrapped up, and we'll have Yeah, we'll have
Yeah,
Sith
yeah.
Lord. We'll
That's
have Sith
yeah,
Lord BK come on and do that.
crazy story though.
Yeah.
That's like such a. I'd be pretty annoyed, to be honest.
And I would be very annoyed.
I didn't even.
Emeryville's not exactly close.
No. But we got Sliver on the way home, so it was all worth
hell
it.
yeah.
All worth
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I got Sliver.
Man, I haven't had Sliver in years.
Just got a whole pie. BK got a pie. Came home. I saved that story just for the show too. I didn't even tell you about that, Nick.
Yeah. I actually didn't. It didn't even dawn on me that I'm like, oh, I never heard about it.
I thought it would be a good story to tell on the show because it's movie related.
Wow.
It's why we moved the episode last week. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's annoying.
Yeah.
We'll get you those tickets and lightsabers.
It was still cool to be there and see everyone dressed up, like people were in character.
Yeah,
it was
just
like
feel that energy.
Yeah, it was like, oh, people still care. You know, like this is crazy. Like, all right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move on to Tax Collector.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, you and I watched this.
I watched it because you watched it, buddy.
Yeah. What did you think?
Where did you guys watch this?
Hulu.
Okay.
So commercials in the beginning. They like.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
Finish.
Commercial free, but.
Oh, look at you.
Commercials didn't ruin it.
Shout out.
Balling at the Verducci house.
Shout out to my sister. It's a Paige's account. So shout out to Paige.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Paige.
Yeah.
Over the show salutes Paige.
My main comment to you, Jerry, is Shia LaBeouf Latino, even by a percentage?
I'll say this, and I'm shooting from the hip, and LaBeouf sounds French to me. If I had to guess, I would have said he was French.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting that out there.
Are you saying in real life or in the movie?
In
like
the
his
movie,
character?
he is. In the movie, he for sure.
In the movie, he's
Spider?
like a Bato, right?
Right.
Like he's like full Spider.
I don't know. I just took it as he was just a white dude that grew up in the neighborhood. Yeah, and that like it's
just a few seconds when he has an accent.
But still, I'm saying that's what he grew up with. But like, I don't know if I don't know. Yeah, I just took it as he was just a guy in the neighborhood, as opposed to him.
He transcends race,
right, dude. Latino Shia LaBeouf was badass. It was badass. Like, I like this movie.
Yeah,
I recommend this.
And
it's
movie.
like,
I want to say it.
I wish we can, because the tattoo is also very Hispanic.
Selling point. Yeah,
dude. There's a bunch like Shia LaBeouf, like.
Oh man.
George Lopez.
Surprise. George Lopez being in it. He's good.
We have 2 George Lopez movies on the list tonight, don't we?
Yeah.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
We didn't already talk about Blue Beetle?
No, we missed it last week. We missed
That's
it.
so funny.
Yeah, we missed it last week. Remember at the end of the show I mentioned how we saw it, and then we were like, oh yeah, we didn't even.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, oh, next week.
Yeah.
George Lopez is having quite a career right now. Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
This movie. What year did this come out? 2020. Okay, so 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago. I don't know, Jared. I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It's not like the most well-written film. You know what I mean? Like it's an action.
Mm-hmm.
It's an action film.
It's what's interesting though is like up until it happens, Shia isn't actually that violent in the movie at all. He's always ready to go, but like
we never see him do anything.
It happens, yeah, they allude to it and there's flashbacks, but again, we actually don't see anything. It's always when he was done. That like in that sense, like it wasn't violent until it was, and then it popped off from that moment forward. It was like, okay, if this is what we're starting with the violence, like the end is like, oh, they got there.
Yeah, is it like ultra violence? Like, is it like one of those things like
midway through it gets ultra violent?
Like
it's crazy.
It gets crazy.
Nah.
It's more of a shoot 'em up, blowing up people kind of vibe.
Yeah. It just again, when it starts, it's like, okay, we've now switched gears and it's now this. But yeah, it was good. I thought Shia was really good. The other guy's good. Was great too.
Yeah. I mean, to explain it, Nick, it's about Shia LaBeouf and his buddy David. David is like kind of
he's like the nephew of like one of the gang leaders or whatever, right? Basically.
I thought he was the son of the
George.
his uncle.
Oh yeah, his dad and uncle
he's
ran it before him, and he's the guy that goes around and gets all the money from the other smaller gangs in the area.
Okay.
in the LA
Yeah.
LA area for
And so it's just like
for just the Latinos though.
their
For
turf.
just the
Yeah, and
Latinos.
so
Because they
it's
run
like
into
them going
the
around
Bloods.
collecting.
There's a whole thing with the Bloods, and then
then this guy was competing with his dad and uncle, and now he's back. So it's a classic, like, hey,
from
this is
Mexico.
my turf.
From Mexico.
Yeah.
He's been sent
Hell
up from.
yeah.
What they try to point out is that the LA gangs are being controlled by the actual stuff that's the cartels and stuff that's actually going on in Mexico, and the cartels are dictating how the LA gangs get their money and all this. It's super kind of it is a little bit of there is some interest the first half, but then once kind of like what Jared said, once it picks up into action film, it doesn't go back. It's just pure action. The whole second half of the movie is just pure crazy action. And they do some stuff in it without giving out any spoilers, because I'd say Sadui, BK, D-Train, if you're here, D, you'll probably like this movie. It picks up, and once it picks up, it's like, okay. And some people die that you don't expect, and it's just like, whoa, this movie's kind of catches you off guard.
Yeah. And it was a dude who did Training Day and something else. So it's set in that world. They like mention gangs that are in what is it? In the Watch, Training to Watch.
He wrote Suicide Squad.
Yeah. You could tell it's a fast-paced writing.
Oh, it's David Ayer. Oh, it's David Ayer. Yeah.
It's not a
That's
bad.
awesome.
It's not a bad movie. I'd say like, it's not fantastic. They could have used a few. They could have fleshed out a little, but it's an hour and a half. So as I'm saying that, I'm also thinking to myself, like, they kept it short and sweet.
Tight.
Yeah.
It's a good Shia movie.
Shia LaBeouf is.
Does Shia have anything coming up?
He had some movie that just came out where he's a priest in World War I.
Oh, yeah, I saw the picture of that. Yeah, okay.
Padre Pio. And then
Shia LaBeouf. I give this movie an A. I'm gonna give this movie an A, dude. The Tax Collector. It was the hour and a half what got me. Shia LaBeouf and an hour and a half. I was like, I can put this on. Jerry watched it. I'll check this out. And I was left pleasantly surprised. Surprised.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you gonna give it, Jerry?
I feel I gave it an A. Maybe. I feel I gave it an A. Maybe I gave it an A minus or something. It was enjoyable.
A
fun
minus.
Ride.
Yeah,
definitely
totally.
Fun ride. Yeah. Definitely throw it on if you got the Hulu.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time. Another George Lopez film here. Nick, why don't you start us off with this? Like, what was your vibe?
I think I had fun while it was like on, like while we were watching it, but like I haven't thought of this movie once. Since seeing it. Like I completely just like moved on from this. Like I do think if you like superhero movies, I think it's worth like checking out. Like if you already first, it's like, yeah, you should see this, like see Aquaman, the last Aquaman, like finish it out. But like I mean I almost like hate to say it, where even though like I like enjoyed it, part of me is I'm like, oh, this movie was like a D or a C, just in the sense that it's like gone. I like metabolized it and like moved on. But then again, having said that, while you're watching it, it's not bad. It's very pretty looking, and like there's definitely some great George Lopez moments. Like I feel like if you're gonna watch it for more like that kind of stuff than like the Blue Beetle stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like it's one of those. It falls into the same kind of. It's not that it's a bad superhero movie at all. It's actually like a pretty good superhero movie, I guess. But it's it's the superhero's fighting the bad version of himself. So it's just Ant-Man. It's just there's nothing you haven't seen in
Iron Man 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
It hits all the notes.
And so it's like if you want like a Latin themed superhero movie, then I think you actually might really like this. I was just kind of like whatever. I mean, when you again, like I said, when you're watching it, you're like, yeah, it's cool.
I think that's the big thing, though, is the Latin side of it.
Yeah, that's really what they're selling you, and that's to me, that's a little. I mean, I'm glad that it's a thing, and I'm glad there's like, oh, superhero. To me, it's also like a little pandering. Like I'm Latin, I don't need a Latin superhero. Like you know what I mean? Like to me, I'm like, they didn't give it. And then again, also not for me. It's for kids. You know what I mean? I don't need
Yeah,
to look up to the
and
Blue Beetle.
I think you
You know who you are.
maybe if you
exactly, yeah,
if you had a Latin superhero earlier in age, you might feel differently.
yeah,
The one thing I'll
100%.
say, because we watched Tax Collector and then we just went to Blue Beetle, is the one thing I'll point out to Jer who hasn't seen Blue Beetle is in Tax Collector they speak Mexican quite often throughout the movie, right,
Yeah.
Jer?
Yeah,
But there's subtitles always.
yeah, yeah.
In Blue Beetle, they speak Latin, because the chick's from
Spanish, yeah.
she's from Brazil. They have scenes where they're all speaking and stuff, and like almost like a Spanglish, like a little bit a mixture of both. No subtitle.
Yeah, yeah.
No subtitle. It's interesting.
Either you get it or you don't. And I will say, but I watched Get the Gringo, and it's the same thing in Get the Gringo, where it is like they put the audience in the seat of maybe Mel Gibson, where they don't ever give you subtitles for Spanish, and so you only get what you get. And so it's funny watching Get the Gringo, and there's actually a lot of Spanish that they're just like, we're not going to subtitle it. Like if that's cool, you know what they're saying. Otherwise, you're kind of in that fish out of water experience, like Mel.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to do it in a superhero film, though.
Exactly, especially one aimed at like kids. Like I always think that's a cool choice. I like that.
Yeah, it's that I think that's one of the benefits to seeing this was like, oh wow, like this is I didn't hate Blue Beetle. I just think I've seen this film a bunch, and this didn't do anything that like surprised me or felt new. It just felt like kind of they picked and pulled from the superhero
successful
book, guidebook, and then they just or playbook, and they just like went through and they're like pulled this play, that play, whatever, and then they smushed it all together, and there you had it. The visuals are cool. Nothing looked terrible, but nothing also looked like amazing, So I would say it's a C plus, B minus at best. I want to give it a B minus for Blue Beetle, but I'm gonna go. I'm leaning more towards C plus just because I didn't even remember to put it on the list last week, and we saw it 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
So
I do think if this movie came out like 5 or 6 years ago, it'd probably be pretty big. It probably would have been like a really good addition to the Snyderverse.
Oh, this would have came out late 2000s. It would have been like movie of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just superhero films have gone so far that like this felt like it was nothing special. So yeah.
I know I did say this when we were walking out too. I will just say, like, if we're putting up Latin superhero people up against each other, Namor is 1,000 times cooler than Blue Beetle. Namor's
he's South American, monster. Right?
Yeah, I mean he's like Atlantean, and then like where was his mom from? Somewhere in Central America, South America. I don't know.
Central America,
maybe in Mexico. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I forget. I haven't watched the Wakanda Forever. I only watched it the one time.
Yeah.
Maybe I should rewatch that at some point. But yeah, Namor so much cooler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like definitely could see the right person really enjoying this film.
Exactly.
Especially for kids or something. What is it? Oh, it's PG-13. Yeah. But still, yeah. I mean, it was cool. It was cool. I just, I think with superhero movies, I'm judging them way harder because we've had so many. I'm not feeling fatigued necessarily, but just that, like, oh, yeah, I've seen this.
Another one.
Yeah, another one.
Exactly.
And this is also kind of the end of the Snyderverse because they mention Superman. There's a whole discussion of Batman, but the only word I understood was Batman. The rest was in Spanish. So I didn't understand what was being said.
I definitely recommend Get the Gringo. If you want to watch something Latin, watch Get the Gringo. It was sick. Or Tax Collector. Tax Collector sounds pretty Latin.
Yeah.
But I do agree with Sisu of like for kids that it is, important to
I agree.
be able to see yourself
in a hero position and not look at these two guys in
or
the gang
tax
collecting
collector
money.
exactly.
Like that's not
exactly.
And same thing with Get the Gringo of like how they're in jail and there's like that kid in the jail and stuff. That again, it's not that, at least like this is like, no, he's saving the day and people are trying to
the
like
one thing I will
ask,
the one thing I thought was interesting is that I think they're on the East Coast. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're in a fake Miami. Like how like Gotham's like a fake Jersey, Metropolis is a fake New York. I think they're like in a fake Miami.
Yeah.
And then so is the Flash like where is Star City or Central City? Is the Flash in like a fake Chicago?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Or I was gonna say like where is the Flash supposed to be picking it?
Yeah.
Metro City, is that what Flash?
But yeah, I mean like I here's what I'd say. If you're into superhero films, it's in my opinion, it's definitely worth checking out. I just don't think don't go into it thinking you're gonna see something. You're gonna see a lot of what you've seen already in a lot of the other films. Now, it's hard because when you're doing the first installment of a new superhero, you kind of have to get this movie out of the way and hopefully build a cool vibe and character that carries over to the next films. And it's just unfortunate because we probably are seeing the one and done of Blue Beetle unless James Gunn does in fact pull him over into the new universe. So
I'd be surprised. And it almost feels like whatever. I don't even get into it.
What was go ahead, Nick.
Well, like the scene at the end where like there's the other Blue Beetle. This movie proposes there was a Blue Beetle like 20 years ago.
The dad.
And then there's the Blue Beetle now. Yeah. It's like I almost think it'd be interesting too if like what if James Gunn brought the dad over? Like it'd be cool if like we don't even see like because I don't know. You're right. Like I think it is a gamble. Is James Gunn gonna bring this Blue Beetle over? I don't know. Maybe he might. But I almost think it's more likely we see that other one, the one with all the gadgets. Yeah, so I don't know though. I don't know.
I thought when we came out of the theater that I thought when we went in I was going to be the one that was the most disappointed. Not disappointed, but not the least of it. But I think when we came out, I actually think that I liked it more than Nick and BK, which I was surprised by because I thought BK would be an easy sell on it. I'm sure BK maybe has changed his mind a little bit now that he slept on it. But I didn't. The one thing I thought was interesting is that they swooped the Purple Rain font. That's legit.
Exactly. I do love this color scheme. Like I do really like they leaned in a vapor aesthetic. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I think the suit looks great too. If we're just talking aesthetics, I think his suit looks awesome. He's got the cool powers where he can, it is that kind of like almost cheat power where it's like Green Lantern, where it's like he can have whatever he wants. If he thinks of a sword, it's a sword. If he thinks of pistols, it's he's got them in his hands. Like he's whatever the situation needs to be.
Yeah,
it'll be on HBO
which is dope,
Max
but that's also very overpowered. Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Before the holidays come, Jerry, you'll be able to watch it for free. And the George Lopez scenes are worth checking it out, to be honest, because he's seen George Lopez in a superhero film, cracking some jokes. It's fun. I've always enjoyed George Lopez, so it was enjoyable. But yeah, I mean, for a superhero movie, C+, B-, at best.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure when it comes out at some point, it'll be a background movie.
And to go back to BK saying an A, very interesting. I know BK's going to watch that and be like, they gave this an A. I'm giving it an A, Beaks, for what type of movie that is. If you put that up against some Oscar films, it's not that kind of film at all. It's a shoot 'em up. It's a John Wick, the tax collector. It's a John Wick vibe. It's not going to be... That's the one thing I think about Tax Collector that could have raised the bar and made it like a real good movie if they would have done a little bit more storyline. But it's more on the shoot 'em up stuff.
Hell yeah!
But moving on to Mad Max Thunderdome, Beyond the Thunderdome. Jerry, you didn't watch this, did you?
No, I did not.
It's not streaming anymore.
Well, spoilers.
Yeah.
They don't do a recap in the beginning of this one.
Yeah.
So if you think they're going to recap 1 and 2 like they did in 2, they do not. They jump right into just it being its own little world. The interesting thing to me in this movie, I think Nick D would agree with me, is that the car scenes are really a little like a not even a no. He's not. There's not even a car scene in the beginning. Technically, he's getting carried by camels.
Yeah.
So the car stuff doesn't happen till the tail end of the film, and the
like that last 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
The center of the movie is just, and I didn't remember this, but it's just Mel Gibson with all the children.
Yeah, the Thunderdome is actually a pretty small part. Like, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I guess it's like 30-ish minutes, maybe 40 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, but all together, I think it made me realize I like 2 is probably my favorite out of the original 3. 2 is the strongest one. I
really like the first half of this one.
And the end half too. It's the center just gets a little dull.
Yeah, exactly. I like how he kind of looks kind of Dune-ish right there. Like it's like the aesthetic is so like he looks like that. Like it looks more apocalyptic in this movie. Like visually, this movie's like dope.
What's he holding? Because that's definitely a fly swatter.
It is.
It is a fly swatter, but then there's a knife on it
in the center.
You can pull the handle out. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess that's.
And so it's like he looks kind of.
Because the beginning half, Nick with the Master Blaster, and he faces off Blaster, that stuff's all cool. Then he gets exiled out of the city, and then he, the whole kid thing that goes on for probably 45 minutes. It kind of slows down, and you're like, oh, this is kind of dragging a little bit. The pacing kind of comes off, and it's just a little kind of whatever, man. Let's get past this. And then he comes back to the city, and it kind of picks up again, and then it's over.
Exactly.
And that's kind of the rundown of the movie. And there's a whole car scene in the end half, but the whole middle with these kids, that girl especially, it's just kind of like I want more of the Thunderdome stuff.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, more of the chase. Like
So, I would say this is to me it still stands up as far as like vibe wise. And BK, I see I'm already questioning my rating abilities here, but Beaks. Make your own show on the OverTheShow. I'm gonna give this a B. I don't remember what I gave the first 2, but I would go 2 is S, 1 is A, and this is a B for the original 3 because they're all great movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually. I don't know. Actually, thinking about it out loud, it's like, does that make 1 a C? Because this one, the scenes in it are almost cooler than anything you see in 1.
I almost like this. This is like so like I feel like this is like such a mean and disrespectful thing to say. I feel like cut out all of the shit with the kids, and this movie's an S. So like I'm like it's at least an A, but there like you do have to like there's like 30-ish, 40-ish minutes of just like I'm like I genuinely don't care about any of this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like let's move it on.
It's just dragged out.
You get what they're doing.
Dragged out.
Exactly. Like, it's like,
it's all this stuff.
Maybe don't even cut everything out with the kids, but cut out half of it. Oh, my God. Get back to the action.
Yeah. Like,
not the babysitting. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not even, like, the kids aren't even in danger. I mean, there's that one who falls in the pit. But you know what I mean? It's more just like, look how these guys have surviving out here. And it's like, I don't care. Go back to Bartertown. I don't care about these kids.
Yeah,
how good they have it.
Yeah,
they literally live in an oasis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this isn't post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. Totally. But the costumes, the world, the set building, design, all of that is still fantastic.
And Master and Blaster, how like they like you both like they feel like real people, like in the sense that it's not just like how like fucking Humongous was like a supervillain. He was like this weirdo, but like you could tell he was very smart but very violent. You kind of care about Master and Blaster. You're like, oh wow, this whole thing's like super sad, and they're just doing what they can to survive too.
Yeah, stupid like, Tina Turner.
Yeah, like this is a good movie if you can just get through the 80s filler.
Yeah.
They're confirmed. There is a saxophone solo. Mad Max 1 had one. There's a saxophone solo in this too.
Yeah, they brought that back.
Oh wow.
They brought that back.
Yeah, I don't think they did that in the second one.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's nice.
This dude, that's
cool.
the end.
This dude.
This dude
did some amazing stunts too. Like
when he crosses over the cars.
Dude. And even if, let's even just say they're actually, they're only going like 15, 20 miles an hour. It's like they're going like 15 or 20 miles an hour. This guy jumping between moving vehicles. Like,
yeah.
It was
across
amazing.
the whole thing. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think one did a better storyline building, and even the pacing on one feels better than this one. But
100%.
But the visuals you get in this one, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool. I recommend it. If you haven't seen Beyond the Thunderdome, you're missing out. You got to watch it one time.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe I'll watch the making of.
No,
just see how they went about it.
No, Jer.
34 minutes.
What I almost think you should do is like take that 34 minutes and just fast forward. As soon as the kid shows up, just fast forward till they're on a car. Because is it a 2-hour movie? If it's a 2-hour movie, cut it down to 1:30.
Oh my God, a 2-hour movie? No, 147. That's fine.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
It feels like a 2-hour movie, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you give it, Nick?
It's like I'll give it an A just to give it an A because I do think good parts are great, and it's really just that middle part. Like there's that whole where, and again in a weird way, it's almost kind of meta, where like the kids drag him out to the right. They're so excited. Look, it's the plane, and he just looks at it. And he just turns around like, Jesus Christ. And he's like, I can't believe you're wasting my time with this. That's how I felt about the scene. I was like, this scene is wasting my fucking time.
Can you go back?
Get back to the fucking cars. Like, so yeah, like when this movie works, fucking works. It drags in the middle. So yeah, I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A, but just know that.
Okay, here's my big question for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Right? I thought this was the same character who crashed the plane in the first movie, right?
I'm almost positive it is. And I feel
remember
like
how
Max
he's hitting on the blonde lady?
Yeah.
And he has like his arm around her and stuff.
And I think that's his kid. And
that's what I thought.
Lady's dead. And I think Max is a dick. I think Max recognized him, but just didn't want to get into it because he's like, hey, and Max kind of dismisses him. Right. Like, but I think Max knows. I think Max is like, no, you and I had a thing a couple of years ago. You helped me out. Like, I think that's just classic Max. I don't know.
Yeah, can we click on that actor? And is he in both?
Oh, that's him. Yeah, no, that's totally him.
He's in both?
But yeah, in this one, they have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it the gyro captain in both?
Wait, who does he play in Star Wars?
It would be 79 and 80. Or no, it's 85 and 87 for 2 and 3. Road Warrior.
Gyro.
No.
Is it 89? When did Mad Max 3 come out? Road Warrior. There's Road Warrior. And so
I think it was 80.
Is it not him? Oh yeah.
Jedediah.
No, Jedediah. Just different character.
But they both have planes.
have planes.
It's a little bit of a I just rewrote that. Like so, it's like
they don't acknowledge it in the movie though. They definitely you're right. He does go hey, but like they never bring it up. It's just so weird.
Yeah, that's really funny.
And they both fly planes. Funny. Yeah, I give it a B, and Nick gave it an A. So that's where we are. Thunderdome.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch, and again, like just to finish it out, I'm gonna watch Fury Road for next week.
Dude, the thing too to me though with Thunderdome is it's in the title of the movie. You would think it played a bigger role in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
The film was originally not a Mad Max film, but a post-apocalyptic Lord of the Flies film about a tribe of children who are found by an adult. It became the third Mad Max film when George Miller was suggested that Max is the man who finds the children.
That is so funny. That makes so much more sense now. That is so funny.
It's the only way you get a budget to finish that the Mad Max films.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Dude, George Miller, what a baller move. Well done.
Is it better or worse than the Shia movie? Are we talking about Thunderdome versus Tax Collector?
I haven't seen the Shia movie, but I feel pretty good. Like pretty darn good.
I don't think that they're comparable at all. They're total different styles of movie. I'd probably rather rewatch Thunderdome than Tax Collector, just to be honest.
That's my instinct. I'll watch Tax
I just like the
Collector.
vibe of those 80s sci-fi cyberpunk worlds.
Yeah, me too.
Tina Turner's interesting. She's good in it.
Yeah, I thought she was great.
All right, Jerry, what's our next topic? We got we're going for a hot minute today with just movies.
Yeah, there's only 2 left.
Oh wow, that'll be the show. Probably we'll wrap it up there. What's our last 2? I know what the last one is. I saw D-Tan was in chat. I hope he stayed.
Yeah, hopefully he's still here. We waited all that time.
And we all watched this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Nick, I want you to go first, bro. Tell us what you thought.
I don't know. Jared and I were talking. I can't quite tell. Is Bliss prequel or a Bliss sequel? I don't know. But it's probably in the Bliss universe.
I don't think so at all, but okay.
I thought it was... It's a very slow burn. It's like real slow. I do think it's like a really clever alien movie this way. Like I did think... I was like, oh, that's a new idea. But yeah, it's slow.
It's slow.
The kid is creepy. I thought Imogen Pooch was good, but you like in the grand scheme of things, I mean, he's in the hole digging. You actually don't really spend much time with him, so it's kind of an Imogen Pooch movie. But I thought she did a good job. I still don't understand. I mean, I guess I know that it's like end of the day, this is an invasion story, but it's like I don't get like what they're doing.
Well, it's not an invasion because the alien species, and this is just from what I read online, needs the humans to raise them or whatever.
Yeah, it's you need 2 people to make one person, and that one person replacing another person. So it just seems like inefficient. That's what's kind of weird about it. And I guess in a weird way, that's what we're always talking about with horror movies. The fact that there aren't answers, I guess, is what makes it kind of scary, kind of like unsettling, because it does seem like, what is the point of this? You know what I mean? Like, what are they gaining by having people come, and what are they gaining by having this house real estate business? Other than they're raising a kid, the alien is, we're having a kid live on Earth. But it's like, to what end? So yeah, I don't know. Rating wise, like I don't know.
Well,
I think this movie's all vibe.
What I read online,
it's got a great vibe.
Is that like the child, and this kind of is confirmed when you see the dude at the end of the film. Spoilers. The child, like the alien or whatever, is on like dog years.
Yeah, they grow because you see the height thing of him, and in like 90 days, he's like the height of like an 11-year-old. Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, that dude's like he's past.
He looks like Gabe from The Office. That one guy.
Yeah. I agree with you though. I think this movie could have been stronger with a few little extra add-ons or explanations of stuff.
Yeah.
The vibe is definitely there, and it has a great visual. Like, I don't know if everything was practical effects, but the way that they used the practical effects and then filled in stuff digitally to make the city seem larger, or however they did it, it worked. Yeah. Like, it looked good.
And like the fact that it looked kind of surreal actually added to it, because you're like, no, they can, even to them, it doesn't look right. It's supposed to not be this way.
Yeah.
And so it kind of works. It like that adds to it.
Yeah. I still wanted to know when the boxes got dropped off. We never find that.
This movie proposes a lot of really interesting ideas, but then even when you get to the end, you're like, it's not even that we didn't get the answer. It's like there isn't one. Like it's like it doesn't even matter. It's not about that.
No, they answered it.
What though? What did they answer?
With the sidewalk.
How it lifts up, and that's how they were
Yeah,
getting the
they're just lifting
boxes.
it up and they're pushing a box out. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's always right there. Yeah, this movie didn't do it for me.
That was a cool scene though when she's traveling through.
I don't think Emojin and especially Jesse were interesting enough to hold my attention. I was pretty bored watching this.
Really?
But yeah. But so what I would say is I never noticed the X's on all the grounds.
Yeah, me neither.
That it's like, I'm sure it's just the classic, at some point the housing market always booms, and it's like, yeah, at some point they'll get like 10 families in that neighborhood, and then they'll have 10 of those, creatures. That it is, I think it's just it's either at some point this will fill up and then we'll be able to take over the world, or it's as I looked up or whatever, that a vivarium is a thing you can study animals in, that it's like, or they're just studying humans to see how kids raise. But again, the beginning of the movie with the birds of like, oh, parasitic bird puts its eggs there to have somebody else. So I think it's much more that you, like you guys are saying, humans have to do it for whatever reason, and it's either that and they're trying to learn how to, or it's just like one of these days it's going to explode because we realized humans need homes, so that's how we can get them in here. But it was just too slow to burn for me. And like I think the coolest part is the end, when you do see how all the different world or whatever that she falls through
Upside
for a
down
second,
world.
that it was like, why couldn't there have been more of that? Because dude digging the hole was not interesting, and I thought the kid was super annoying.
The kid was
more than
but he was supposed to be. That was like, I thought he did a great job. Like, he was annoying.
But yeah, I found it, like I was telling Nick, like for whatever reason, when voices don't line up with the mouth, and I know why it was in this movie, I can't get past it, and so that just it was too distracting.
I thought you did. I thought,
but
wow, all right.
The kid did a good job of being like,
And I do think, like you guys said, in the end, there wasn't enough that was kind of like, what was the point of this? Like, and I'm sure that's part of it too.
Well, they just missed a few beats. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the vibe was there. It's just like, it's missing a few explanations of what's going on to make it that, like, not like a huge explanation, but just enough information to where it like made it creepy, and you're like, oh, the whole thing did get a little redundant. But then when he does find, then I was like, well, that's a circle. Like they dug at the same. I don't know. It just gets weird.
Yeah, it's just things could have been sped up or cut out or whatever. Something else could have been explained. Like there was a few moments that it's like, oh, let's take out these group of scenes that just feel a little too long, and like you said, add in something else that will just give us that little bit more. Because again, I don't even think he barely says any lines in this movie. He's just there.
He's mainly
really
in the hole.
is.
Well, but they also hint at the beginning that like he maybe killed the birds.
Yeah, it seemed like they almost wanted us to. Yeah.
And then how like he starts getting physical with the kid at one point. So you're like, oh, is Jesse Eisenberg losing his mind? But then also like he dies in 90 days. Like, I don't get like that. The thing I didn't understand. I don't want to go too far into it, but like it just, some of the stuff just like it.
It's also interesting. Like, what is, so he digs the hole, digs like 4 stories down, like 40 feet down. And he finds a body. So like, what does that mean in the sense that like, that when men are in this situation, they kind of naturally think to dig that hole? Or did the kid put that thought in the dad? Like, no, dig the graves for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's how this
that's because
works.
Remember how when he throws the cigarette and it burns a perfect hole.
Yeah. So it is almost like that. Like that's what the dads do in this trap. Like, okay. Because he was like compelled to do it.
But that could have just been him, because he is a
he works. He's because if that was
it just seems
you would have put the shovels
it just
in the
seems
garage.
like it could have been a thing. Mm-hmm.
Because then the shovels would have been in the
took
garage.
The shovel out of the car.
He took it out of the car.
He got it out of his car.
Yes, I feel like if it was an ongoing, that's what I'm saying. Like this movie,
again, just a few things.
Yeah, it missed the mark. Like just barely. Like I did enjoy it. I thought, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna bring it back up, but Shinnamarink.
Yeah.
This is what I thought that was gonna be like, just vibe wise, and what this does. And I was way more. I'm gonna compare this to that movie because that's our horror movie of the year.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this a lot more because it actually had a little bit of substance, but the vibe of this empty house, weird, like surreal thing was still like portrayed a little bit better in this movie. I'm sure the budgets are night and day, but they still miss the mark even with this. I give this movie a C.
I like Skinamarink more.
That's crazy.
I thought they did a better vibe with it. Because again, with Skinamarink, that I do think for whatever reason really worked on me is the fact that we don't see the characters. Where we have Jesse Eisenberg, Facebook. I haven't heard of Imogen Poots before.
I've seen some Imogen Poots movies.
Of like, we have these actors, have them do something. They didn't do anything to where with Skinamarink, it's like, well, there are no actors, so it's all vibe and it's dark and it just worked. Where there wasn't enough.
Well, they walked the first day and then they did the whole.
But they also skipped. That always happens.
The thing is that they skipped the time period where they would have been freaking out.
Yeah,
exactly. We see them get agitated, and then it's just sort of like, okay, they've accepted this. I don't know. There just wasn't.
It's weird
enough. Yeah, again, it's like you said. I wanted to see this, so that was also why I watched it. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. You should check it out. That it's like you said. It just wasn't what I was expecting it to be. With like the one trailer I had seen.
I don't know. Like I know what you guys are saying, but like they burned the house. Like there is some, I don't know, some stuff happens.
Cool visuals. Like I really like when they go to the underworld stuff and all of that. Like that was really cool. That it's like, oh, I wish there was just a little bit more of that.
That threw me off. I thought when all that happened, I thought it was more of a horror movie. Then when it turned sci-fi, I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like I thought this was going in a different direction.
What direction did you think it was going?
Like Hills Have Eyes, like Texas Chainsaw, you were like they're trapped. I still thought that I don't know. Like I was confused on how they couldn't exit the neighborhood. But then unless like, oh, if they could, the movie would be over. But at the same time, I was like, this doesn't like. I thought they were gonna run out of gas and just be stuck there. But this was like they couldn't escape.
As soon as I saw the TV, I knew it was Alien. When I saw what the kid was watching, like that's when I knew it was like, oh, this isn't gonna be ghosts or demons. Like I was like, this is for sure aliens.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
I always talk about this book, House of Leaves, and I do think Skinamarink and Vivarium are both trying to do something that will never be able to be done. Well, I don't know about never, hopefully one day. But like this is like both of those stories are trying to give you a House of Leaves experience. And I just don't know if movies can do that yet. Like this is like the house that never, like the house that you can't escape. Like that's like the best version of that is that horror book, House of Leaves. And I feel like both of them are trying to touch that, how can we approximate House of Leaves?
I think you're thinking of 13 Ghosts, and they did make that movie.
Dude, 13 Ghosts is a great one. That is.
And you can't get out.
Did you just see As Above, So Below? With the one in the catacombs of Paris. That's also kind of the same thing. Like instead of a house, it's catacombs that you can't trust. Like, but just that labyrinth, that idea of like, like we're stuck in this thing. That's another theme that seems to be coming up these days.
All right, I'm giving it a C. Let's move on. Jerry, what are you giving it?
Yeah, I'll still say C minus. If you wanted to watch this and like hadn't, definitely check it out. It's the 90 minutes.
I'd say check it out. If you watch the trailer.
Yeah. So what I'll say is I thought it was more with the one trailer I saw. I thought it was more just about the neighborhood and it was going to be weird. And then all of a sudden they're raising this kid and it was just like, wait, what? So it all threw us for a curveball for different reasons, it seems.
Yeah, Nick, what do you give
I also kind of think I'll give it a C as well. I definitely, how like with Swallow, You're like, this isn't a horror movie. This is a story about mental health. Part of me almost thinks that it's like, yeah, this is an alien movie, but this is like a movie about like the horror
About
of
like
becoming
living
a
in
parent.
living in the suburb and the monotonous repetitiveness of it, and like you
exactly.
have this kid, but secretly you don't even like it.
Like that's what this movie is about. The alien shit is all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I think it's one of those fake out horror movies where it's like, ooh.
But yeah, with that, I still do think if you wanted to watch it, check it out.
Yeah. It's got some cool moments. All right.
Yep, for
Big
sure.
moment. Yeah. Hopefully, D-Train. Hopefully, you're here.
Yeah,
we all watch this
the final topic
for you.
The final topic. Here we go.
We made it.
Sisu.
Word that cannot be translated.
Yeah.
I think that this movie is exactly what I thought it was going to be, which was just an action film that was just all right. Like for tonight's show, the other action movie I feel like we watched, or me and Jared at least watched, was Tax Collector. And I think I liked that a little better than this in the sense of like it had a little bit more story and with the killing and all that. The thing is that this has better visuals than Tax Collector with the killing and stuff, but doesn't really have, it just didn't, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I was expecting because, I mean, it kind of lived up to the hype of what it was. But yeah, I just thought this movie was
Fortnite
all right.
the movie.
Yeah, it was a little bit of Fortnite the movie. Yeah. He's got the pickaxe.
Jumping out of planes.
Yeah. The plane thing blew my mind. And the breathing under air or breathing underwater blew my mind.
The air thing. So the air thing was like, whatever, that was cool. The plane thing for sure was like, I don't know about that. Don't like that at all. And then, do you remember when they were like, he was standing on top of like the truck in front of all the other trucks, and it's like, you're telling me no one saw him do that?
Yeah.
He's standing on the truck. Yeah. They're just like, ooh, those were the only two times that I was like, oh, I can't suspend my belief.
Oh, and he got shot in the knee, he took a landmine on the horse, and he put that peg in his getting hung. Doesn't even walk with a limp. At no point in this movie does he even limp after all the shit that happens to his leg.
And they had hella chances. The Nazis had so many chances to kill him.
Like, he was a great bad guy. I'll say he was good. Remind me of Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, total Mads Mikkelsen's vibe. He was great. He was rocking that duster. Yeah.
I mean, if you let go of the storyline of this being absolutely bonkers, the visuals are pretty badass and it's cool.
Yeah.
Like you see some awesome. Yeah. When that horse gets blown up and then they cut to it and like he's laying there and there's like the pieces of it, it looked crazy. It was like, damn, that looked good.
It looked like the thing. Yeah, that looked horrific.
But
when he tosses the landmine,
was cool. Yeah,
the horse, that was beautiful.
There's cool visuals up.
At times it looks like a western. Like Tube Simone and I were talking. Like at times it looks like it takes place in like 1810, not 1944.
Was it like all natural lighting tubes? Could you tell? Like it looked, because again, most of the movies like
outdoors. I would assume so. Yeah, I would assume so.
At least like most of it, maybe. I feel there's probably some parts they probably had to or not, but like I don't know.
Yeah, like the indoor, the few little indoor shots you get and stuff. It's like,
it's definitely. Sorry, responding to seduce thing. It's a lesser John Wick for sure. Like
it's
less
John Wick with less. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's World War II John Wick.
Yeah, and so
even like the whole like Baba Yaga thing. Like they're even just lifting that whole idea of like how there's a myth of it.
Yeah, they know who the dude is. He can't be killed. Blah blah blah.
So I would say like drop him too, Jerry, is right in that scene when they're like, he was a Finnish warrior whose family was murdered, and they say his name in there, and it's because I remember because me and Nick were like, his name's not Sisu, or like where does the title come from? You thought that was going to be his name. I think his last name is
Colby. Yeah, like I think because the SS guy referred, he's like, where is Colby? Like he even like refers to him by his last name at one point. What is he listed as? What is the actor listed as?
But
It'd be funny if he's listed as Sisu. Tommy. Okay. I guess that's his first name.
It's definitely a movie you can wait to rent, because I rented it off of what's it called, and it's like I don't regret it or anything, but it is like, oh, this is a movie.
Nick's got the hard copy.
Yeah, I don't regret it. Like I really liked it, and I'm gonna lend it to Max. I know Max will too.
Yeah,
like it's cool. It's just nothing like spectacular to like. It doesn't blow John Wick out the water. So you're like, okay, yeah. Like it was.
Yeah,
cool.
No.
And I think out of the 2 action films we watched this week, I think I liked Tax Collector a little bit better. Mainly because just Shia LaBeouf doing a Latino Shia LaBeouf was interesting as all hell. And the building up of the characters to where you're like, oh, okay, I know who all these people are. Now we're going to watch them die. Versus this is just one guy just killing the bejeebas out of a bunch of Nazis, which is cool.
Yeah.
But midway through the movie, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd give it a C+, B-.
Stoic determination, grit, bravery. That's cool.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid B. I was entertained watching it. Yeah, I feel I didn't, I wasn't doing other stuff on my phone or whatever that it held my attention enough. But yeah, the breathing underwater was a little I don't know about that. It's cool. I haven't seen that. But yeah, I don't know how well that would work.
Yeah.
It's just like, talk about a superhero. This is a superhero movie because that old man is straight more powerful than Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're literally doing the tank chain gun, and he's barely holding a shield.
And then when he has the guy's body on the tank gun, go through 2 bodies.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't even. But again, I kind of love that they're it doesn't matter. Just move on. It's you can't die. You know what I mean? It's yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Sounds like Sidu's anti-Latino films. he said he sounded like we don't like people beating up Nazis. No, it's not that. I was comparing it to the other one.
I love people beating up Nazis.
Yeah, we love.
I give this movie an A.
Oh yeah,
I give this movie an A+. Because I'd say if all the John Wicks are equally S, then this is an A+. It's underneath those.
If all the John Wicks are S, then this. I mean, yeah,
it's one. I'd say it's 1 below. Because again, I'd also put Atomic Blonde at S. I really love Atomic Blonde. I think Atomic Blonde might be one of the best John Wick type movies. Where it's just someone kicking ass for 90 minutes.
I haven't seen it.
I definitely recommend. It's a John Wick in the sense there's a story kind of, but I will say there's more story in Atomic Blonde than there is in Sisu or John Wick. It is a spy story. Atomic Blonde is a spy story.
He directed both.
It's just with John Wick, they've built. I think we talked about this, Nick. They've built a fake world. It doesn't exist in reality. Yeah, it doesn't.
Sisu is supposed to exist.
Sisu is at the end of World War II. Yeah. It's supposed to be at the end of World War II. And this superhero, man, the Nazis, it's so close to the end of the war. The Nazis are we need to get this gold because we know we need to flee the country.
Yeah.
Because the war's over and we're about to get hung. And it's that part was interesting, but it was also okay, that was a one line. Okay, that's why the Nazis are doing this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I gave Sisu a C, B- at best.
D-Train, what did you give it?
I wouldn't race out to rewatch this. I don't know if D-Train's here no more. It's cool though. If you want an action-packed film and you just want to see dope visuals and you don't give a shit about storyline, I recommend Sisu. It's definitely the film for you.
I appreciate more of those movies. Like, it's like, I like that. That's like kind of a thing. It's like like Fury Road, like stuff like that, where I'm like, no, just give me like a spectacle. I don't need like all this extra bullshit all the time. Like, obviously, I want really dope, rich movies at times, but I also sometimes just want something like this where it's just like, yeah, dude,
That's
I'm
why
just watching
I
something.
liked Road Warrior.
Yeah, Road Warriors.
Because
Road Warrior found a great balance.
it's a great balance of the two.
Yeah,
I need a little bit of storyline, and then just
calls to the wall. Yeah, Road Warrior did it well.
But yeah, Sisu, get at it if you can.
D-Train, if you haven't seen Atomic Blonde, watch Atomic Blonde if you're still here.
Jerry, before we wrap this up, because we're already at our 2-hour mark, which I'm surprised. I guess we had a lot of movies to discuss.
And I just like for the record, I am at 20% iPad. Like, I can still go. Just saying, like.
Well, no, Jerry, we're almost done, Nick D. Let's play the three. Let's rebuttal. Last week we said we were going to pick out some knife throwing to show Ryan.
Did you pick one, Nick? Did you add one?
No.
I thought you were going to.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I brought that one up during the show.
Did we play that during the show last week?
Yeah, we played it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then Jared, play the other two, and then Nick will pull one in.
Yeah. I might not have one. I'll find one. But if I don't have one by the time it's time for it.
Theater mode. Yeah. I love this movie. Top-notch movie. Super funny.
This is S tier comedy for sure.
Yeah. Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, mine was Kung Fu Hustle. Is that what mine is? Jared?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're going to talk to the gentleman.
Yeah, give us play-by-play, Jared.
And yeah, we don't need to like watch it. And
there
so his son goes and gets the knives.
I think that's a what did Ryan call that? A straight throw?
I thought that was like a was a full spin. You think okay, that could have been a no spin. That
it looks like he's doing no spins.
Maybe we'll try to go back real quick. No, that looks like he's hucking it from behind. I don't know. I'm gonna say that's like at least a full, if not 2 spins.
Okay.
Maybe these later ones. I think the one that went in by Owen might have been a no spin. Telling him he's gonna throw a bunch. See, that one sort of looked like a spin, but I feel the one that goes into the leg here.
Time out. Yeah, that's great.
Oh no, that was definitely a spin.
Get some right in the Shinaroonie.
Yeah. That's a great knife throwing scene.
Now, if you get stabbed with a knife and it's an inch deep, are you pulling it out or are you leaving it in?
I think you're
supposed to leave it in.
Yeah, because depending
that's the only
on how
thing, like,
deep
stopping
it is,
blood. Yeah.
All right, this is
I always hear to leave it in.
This is my pick from a classic film, Kung Fu Hustle, one of my favorite.
Yeah, this is a fun movie.
Oh, this is a fantastic film.
Only 360. I mean, is that a quality knife to throw? I wish Ryan was here.
Heavy handle. See, that's why it came back.
Look at that. And yep, exactly. Right in the shoulder. Okay, we got some more. Very Ace Ventura.
It is, yeah.
All right. I was wondering how he could get it. That's pretty good.
I think there's just the handle.
Oh, that was good.
Fantastic. Right, guy. Add these to the list.
Yeah. Break it down for us a little bit. Well, there's full spins, no spins.
Yeah.
Oh, dumping snakes on Yeah, I might rewatch this.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen it.
All right, Nick D, do you got
Nick,
one, or
you
do you
got,
want to call it a night here, buddy?
I think we're gonna call it, but let me just see if I've got one here. Is this even got it in it? Let's see. If this doesn't have it, we're moving on. It doesn't. All right, I'll have it for next week.
And Addie's not here tonight, so we don't have the what movie was it that he kept mentioning?
Skinamarink.
No.
He won't stop raving about it.
Dennis the Menace. It was Dennis the Menace.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I could not find.
So, Addie.
It was like, yeah, because we found, he was like, oh, it's at the end of the scene, but, it's the classic, like, oh, clip 7 of 10 right now, and it just seems like that. I don't know. I could not find it.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace, Little Rascals, like Problem Child, like that era. There was a lot of bangers. There was a lot of Little Giants,
Goonies.
Ladybugs, Goonies,
Stand By Me,
Lost Boys, Stand By Me. What's the one with the Coreys? What is it? You guys talked about it? The horror movie with the Coreys. Monster Men? What's that movie called?
No, I don't think that's
Monster Squad.
I don't think
Monster Squad.
Is one of the Coreys?
Is that not the Coreys?
Maybe one of them.
Oh, is it? Maybe it's just
maybe one
of
them. Yeah, the one that has 2 is Lost Boys.
Lost Boys is the one that has 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either way, that's some stuff for Danger's Edge to check out. Rye, we want to see those knife throws in the next review.
Breakdown.
Maybe you could find the Dennis the Menace one and review that for us. As well as head over to their channel. They just released that Santa Cruz video this past week. It's a good one. Some good knife throwing, some no spins, some spins. They got it all over there.
The whole shebang.
Roonies.
And that's it. Is there anything that we need to watch before next week, boys, that we're going to call out now?
I'm going to watch Fury Road. You guys don't have to if you don't. I'm going to finish
I've seen that movie. I've seen that movie so many times. We could discuss it. But
chat, is there any movies you've seen we should check out?
Yeah, wait. So who's here? Sidu? Like who's in the chat?
I don't know. Sidu
and BK.
Sidu. Whoever's here, whoever does it first. Watch the movie Train. Sidu, if you got.
Well, I mean, we can't sit here and wait for the delay in these fools.
Yeah, no.
I mean, yeah. Give them literally 1 minute. We're ending it. But it's like, yeah, we took a D tracing suggestion. If someone's got a suggestion, throw it out now, or we're watching whatever we want.
Yeah, all right. So we're gonna call the show now, because Sidu's suggestion is horrible, and that's why we don't ask for suggestions.
Was it the Adam Sandler movie?
Nope,
we have to watch the Adam Sandler.
It was Harry Potter. So Nick's gonna watch Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban because he asked
that is the best one too.
Like, he asked Sidu for a movie suggestion.
That's the best one.
I knew Sidu was gonna come up with something like that.
There's 1 or 2 there's like 3 or 4
Harry Potters.
Harry Potters.
Oh, there was a knife throw in Harry Potter, wasn't there? We watched it. It killed Darby.
Yeah, it was Beatrix, whatever her name is.
Yeah, there you go. Full circle. Full circle.
Oh, I know what my knife scene is for next week. Never mind. Well, I'll get to it though. Addams Family with Gomez. That one's dope. Well, that's not really a knife throw, but if we're just doing knife scenes, that's way easier. But remember when he's throwing him at Uncle Fester?
Oh yeah, and he's on the board.
Yeah. So I'll cue that up for next week.
That's a good one.
Danger's Edge.
Yeah, that's a good one for
Danger's Edge. If you get to it before next week, it's either I think it's Adam Family Values, Gomez knife throw. If you don't look at it before next week, I'll have it queued up for you.
I'll say this. I think, and because I think BK reminded me of this, I think Harley Quinn's over. So by next week, we'll do our Harley Quinn wrap up.
I need to start that. All right. Yeah, I'll do that too.
So just real, well, I'll show you after the show.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We apprate it. That was a good show.
Thanks.
We went over a ton of movies. No time for tier list tonight. Maybe next week, if we don't have any movies, we'll finally get to that Gatorade tier list that we've just been keep freaking hanging.
Gatorade and Dune.
Promoting that, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Till then, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, leave post note, whatever.
Make someone watch it this week. Make one new person.
Yeah.
Venmo, however you can